Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with the review of the Blade Glimpse from Horizon Hobby. This is Blade's entry into the popular Wi-Fi FPV market. So it has a camera on it and it transmits FPV video via Wi-Fi to a smartphone app that you just clip your phone into this little clip here, and you've got an app that you can download and that'll stream the video live. However, like I've said with a lot of other Wi-Fi FPV things, Wi-Fi is kind of worthless for FPV depending on where you are or how close you fly. It's just a little laggy, and then it doesn't have great range. So if you get too far away, it'll start freezing and dropping out on you. So I'm a little underwhelmed with this. I don't know. Didn't really do much for me. It's kind of heavy, so it flies kind of heavy. They have this interesting upside down design to it, and you've got the prop guards like the Blade Nano QX had, but with the Nano QX flying this way and the prop guards leaning out, they actually work well to bounce into a wall and bounce off. But when they're upside down like this and leaning forward, when you hit a wall, it actually makes it pivot up and crash. And so with an FPV quad, especially Wi-Fi, where you're probably going to be doing this indoors, you want these prop guards to work to allow you to kind of bounce into a wall and keep going if you don't see something next to you. But if these prop guards touch anything, it's causing a crash. I don't think I ever once managed to get those prop guards to touch something and keep flying. So a little bit disappointing there, and I'm not really sure what the purpose of the design was to make it upside down like this. It doesn't seem to really add any advantage for this type of a quad. It is green, so that kind of helps me like it, but still pretty underwhelmed with it. And I'm a huge fan of Blade products, so it kind of hurts me to say that, but I don't know, I did not really enjoy this one that much. The transmitters is, fairly decent. It's kind of like a video game style, but it's got sticks so you can pinch it if you're a pincher or fly with your thumbs. You click the right stick, it has two rates. The yaw rate does change. It's kind of a little hard to tell, but it does change, but it's fast. I mean, especially on high rates, this thing can spin like crazy. And it is an HD camera. I think it's basically that E-Flight, E721 or whatever it was that I reviewed for the Blade 200 QX. I think it's basically that camera sort of built into the quad. So when you record, it does record to a SD card on the quad itself. You trigger that from the app, but it records to the quad. So it does record pretty decent 720p HD video. And the card is actually a really nice Sandisk 8 GB card, so pretty decent card that it comes with. Let's see, and it comes with a USB cable as well. There's a little USB port on the back here, so you can plug in straight into the quad and connect that to your computer to get the videos and pictures, whatever, off of the quad, or you can just take the memory card out and put that in a card reader. So nice to have an option at least if you don't have a card reader. Comes with a spare set of props. It also came with the 4 AA batteries for the transmitter, and then it comes with this little USB charger and then a 500 milliamp hour battery. So pretty big battery. It takes about 55 minutes to charge, and you get about 6.5 minute flights. Another thing that was fairly disappointing is there's no LEDs on this at all. It does have like a red or something inside the canopy, and you can see it blink for like just a second or two before it loses power and lands. So there's a little bit of a LVC warning, but not really significant enough to react to it and do anything. Let's see. Oh, and there's no modes, like, there's no agility or stability mode. It's always in safe stability mode. There's no low angle or high angle or anything. It's just, it is what it is. But, it is, Blade's safe mode. It flies nice and smooth, just like the Nano QX and whatnot. But the extra weight makes it a little bit You know, I don't know, it just feels heavy in the air, but it is nice, smooth flying quad. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say about it. Yep. So let's go take it for a flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Blade Glimpse with the Wi-Fi FPV camera. And you can see it's a little choppy. It's not super smooth footage, so I don't know how well it'll actually work for FPV. So we'll start off, I'll just fly it for a bit and just kind of show what it can do. Then we'll try some FPV, and then we'll try some onboard footage. Alright, I'm in high rates. Pretty good yaw rate, it's pretty fast. It's not quite as fast as the Nano QX, but definitely fast enough to be sporty. And this thing does fly nice. It's nice and smooth and precise, but it's a little bit heavy, so it can feel heavy in the air. Not quite as nimble as the Nano QX. So you gotta be a little more smooth on your turns or it can get a little out of control. But it flies quite well. Alright, traffic coming. Let's try get my screen angled a little bit better here. There we go. Where am I at? Alright, let's try some FPV. Hopefully my hat cam is picking that up. Not too bad, really. I mean, it's still pretty, where's the traffic at? Alright. I had to take my eye off, make sure that traffic wasn't coming down the street. I mean, it's still pretty laggy like Wi-Fi is, but it looks like I'm getting pretty decent range and it hasn't dropped out at all yet. Probably one of the better Wi-Fi FPV systems that I've seen so far, but still definitely not as good as an actual 5.8 gigahertz FPV. But it's flyable. I don't think I've flown Wi-Fi FPV for this long without taking my eyes off the screen before on anything. Alright, where am I at? Makes me a little nervous out there over the street when I can't really tell if cars are coming or not, and it seems to be a high traffic day for some reason. Yep, and more traffic. Alright, well, let's start recording. Alright, and it does record. Sounds like I got a helicopter flying overhead here. Oh wow, he's low, look at him. Holy cow. Wow. That was pretty cool. Wonder what that's all about. Alright, well, I am filming. Alright, well, I think, yeah, I'll go ahead and switch to the onboard footage now since I was kind of focused on my hat cam there at the helicopter. So now we'll show the onboard footage that I'm recording. And it does record to the camera, a memory card on the camera, so you get good HD 720 recording on a memory card. It doesn't take up space on your phone or anything. You don't get the FPV lag in it or anything like that. So pretty decent recordings. I think it's basically the same camera as that E-Flight camera that I reviewed for the Blade 200QX. So I mean, not super great quality. I think it's like a 2 megapixel 720p, something like that. Let's try to fly. It looks like the FPV still works pretty well while it's recording too. I don't see any extra lag per se. Alright, let's go ahead and stop recording now. And just go back to fly a little bit. It does fly nice. I guess if you've been considering one of these Wi-Fi FPV options, this is probably the best one I've had so far. Wi-Fi seemed to stay with me the whole time, never completely froze up. And it records in HD to a memory card on the camera, not through the app, so that's nice. And it flies great, just like all Blade products do. Obviously going to be more expensive than others though, but I think it may be worth it in this case. This is probably the first Wi-Fi FPV that I didn't just have, no luck at all with. I was actually, doing actual FPV flying with this one, so that was pretty surprising. Alright, well I think I've showed all there is to show, so bring her in for a landing. There we go. And that is the Blade Glimpse with Wi-Fi FPV camera on it. Pretty neat. The downward facing props looks pretty cool, and it's in green, so I always like that. Alright, well there we go. Check the video description for price and purchase link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.